I'm back, Rhodes for the Matrixx and Rhodes show, and this is one of the weirdest stories I have read in a while involving Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy. Now, for full disclosure, I'm a massive Tom Hardy fan. Venom, highly underrated as Bane, of course, in The Dark Knight Rises. Dunkirk, Rock and Rolla. The guy has been in The Revenant. He has been in so many good movies. She's a good actress, too. But she has come out and made some comments about Mad Max Fury Road and the fact that she actually felt unsafe around Tom Hardy. Her and Tom Hardy were feuding on this motion picture, and of course, there is a sequel that's being shot right now. This is wild. She has made a lot of claims in this article. I'm pretty shocked. Charlize Theron says she didn't feel safe on the Mad Max set with Tom Hardy. Quote, I was really scared shitless. Wow. Now, we know he always kind of plays some parts where guys are just kind of off a tick, if you know what I mean. Charlize Theron opened up about the tension between her and Tom Hardy on the set of Mad Max Fury Road, saying she felt unsafe enough to hire security while filming. The revelation comes in an excerpt from reporter Kyle Buchanan's new book, Blood, Sweat, and Chrome, The Wild and True Story of Mad Max Fury Road, in which the film's cast and crew detail the feud between the two co-stars. Quote, it was like two parents in the front of the car. We were either fighting or we were icing each other. I don't know which one is worse. And they had to deal with it in the back, Theron said of filming with Hardy. Quote, it was horrible. We should not have done that. We should have been better. I can own up to that. The tension between the co-stars escalated after Hardy showed up late to set one day in which he had done multiple times before, according to Buchanan's book. Quote, whether that was some kind of a power play or not, I don't know, but it felt deliberately provocative. Only an actual person from Hollywood would state that like that. First assistant camera Ricky Schamberg said of Hardy's failure to show up on time. If you ask me, he kind of knew that it was really pissing Charlize off because she's a professional and she turns up really early. Theron was reportedly infuriated with Hardy's tardiness that day, especially as she was a new mother at the time. Quote, she was really going to make a point, said cameraman Mark Goldknight. She didn't go to the bathroom. She didn't do anything. She just sat in the war rig. When Hardy eventually showed up, Theron reportedly said the producers should, quote, fine the fucking cunt $100,000 for every minute he's held up this crew. Quote, she was right. Full rant. She screams it out, Goldknight told Buchanan. It's so loud. It's so windy. He might have heard something of it, but he charged up to her and went, what did you say to me? Goldknight went on to call Hardy quite aggressive, adding she really felt threatened, and that was a turning point. Theron told Buchanan that she, quote, didn't feel safe, and she asked if a female producer could be present to maybe equalize some of the tension. So was she upset because there was too many dudes around? That's kind of weird. Further, Fury Road producer Doug Mitchell denied the request, instead allowing Theron to meet with the producer off set. Looking back on where we are in the world now, given what happened between me and Tom, it would have been smart for us to bring a female producer in. Oh, God, why are you making this about gender? Theron added of the incident, you understand the needs of a director who wants to protect his set, but when push comes to shove and things get out of hand, you have to be able to think about that in a bigger sense. That's where we could have done better if Fury Road director George Miller trusted that nobody was going to come up and fuck with his vision, but was just going to come and help mediate situations. She continued, I think he didn't want any interference, and there are several weeks on that movie where I wouldn't know what was going to come my way, and that's not necessarily a nice to feel when you're on a job. It was a little bit like walking on thin ice. Theron and Hardy had addressed their on-set tension in a previous interview with Buchanan, both the actors chalking it up to demanding working conditions and professional differences. Quote, I don't want to make excuses for bad behavior, but it's a tough shoot, Theron told Buchanan in a recent interview. Now I have clear perspective on what went down. I don't think I had that clarity when we were actually making the movie. I was in survival mode. I was really scared shitless. Hardy also addressed the clash while speaking to Buchanan, saying, quote, in hindsight, I was in over my head in many ways. The pressure on both of us was overwhelming at the time. What she needed was a better, perhaps more experienced partner in me. He added, that's something that can't be faked. I'd like to think that now that I'm older and uglier, I could rise to that occasion. So he's saying that, I guess Hardy is saying that really and truly he was sort of immature on the set in the way he was acting. Now, from her standpoint, that's really interesting that she just came right out and said she felt threatened. Now, I don't know how much of that's being blown out of proportion. Like I said, he always plays roles that are really edgy. Eddie Brock, it's like something's just not quite right there, right? Bane, I mean, The Revenant. I mean, when you need a guy to play a rough dude that's just slightly off, Tom Hardy is your guy. I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan. Looking forward to the Mad Max sequel. It's crazy that she felt like she might need security. Now, I don't know what the deal is with her saying that she felt like a female producer needed to be around. Well, if Tom Hardy snaps, don't you think you'd rather have some men there to drag him off? If that's really the case, I'm not sure how much or exactly how a female producer helps her feel better in that situation. If you're an actress, you better be comfortable working around a bunch of dudes. Okay, now the problem is, I think she's also kind of woke, so I would be careful with that and make sure she's not trying to make this a different kind of issue, right? It's fine if you were uncomfortable over here and that's the issue, but I don't know how the gender thing plays a role here. I really don't. So, tell me what you think. This is wild. I mean, that's detailed. I guess if they weren't fighting, and they were literally, arguing back and forth all the time on the set, and then when they weren't, they were giving each other the cold shoulder. What a shitty work environment that's got to be, day to day, for both of them. Let's be real, And yeah, just speaking as somebody like me that likes to be very punctual, him showing up late would piss me off. I'm just letting you know, I'm a 15 minutes early kind of dude when it comes to getting the job done. So I do get that from her standpoint. So tell me what you think, Matrixx and Rhodes show fans. I thought this was interesting. I wanted to share this. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.